Let's talk about sextortion, this awful new international crime that now has a case of Nigerians being extradited to the United States. Looks really serious on the face of it. They're facing many years in prison, up to life, and one of their victims committed suicide, so it sounds so super dangerous, right, on the face of it. But then you look at what it was and what created the harm. And it all comes down to fear. Fear of what's gonna happen when these sextortion scammers do what they threaten. And why do we fear that? We fear that only because we have created this monster that we set up inside our souls. This monster that is only consisting of fear itself, with no substance to it, can make it all go away. I mean, just look at the nudists who are nude and take pictures like it's nothing, and no one gets hurt. Sextortion scams wouldn't work if you threatened to share a picture of a nudist camp. But then we managed to make it so incredibly dangerous just by changing the context a little bit. And this idea is culturally mandatory. I have to be very careful with criticizing that idea because you get censored for it. This is mandatory. You have to think this is super dangerous. It's crime-worthy. If any picture of a minor outside of a nudist context is super dangerous. So it's not so strange this 17-year-old got the idea that it was worth committing suicide over. So why do we choose to double down on that idea that it's dangerous and create this international crime case out of it, complete with an extradition from Nigeria? It's like we approached the old Nigerian scammers with believing in them. Yeah, they must be telling the whole truth. And the only problem with that scam is that they don't produce the money they must have. Because we believe these new scammers have that metaphysical power to hurt with these images. That's the official superstition of this civilization. And yes, it becomes true when you believe in it. When enough people believe in it, it becomes true. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy that we could just make go away by quitting to believe in it. So why do we want to believe in it? I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. I see it for the superstition that it is. And that's not an acceptable view to take in the mainstream, right? You can't take that view. Even the parents of this dead 17-year-old can't suggest that, at least not publicly. I don't see them suggesting it. They just want to double down on hunting these scammers instead of just not believing in their scams. The old Nigerian scammers, we don't have to hunt down the scammers, we just have to quit believing in them. Think about that. There's no need to hunt down Nigerian scammers who are offering you many millions if you send them a little bit of money. If people just didn't fall for that scam to begin with, so it would be ineffectual. And now I guess it is ineffectual because people got the message that this is nonsense. So there's this new scam now, this extortion scam, that people believe in. That scam is so believable, even the authorities believe in it. It is the new Nigerian scam that even the authorities believe in. We can't get over that scam by just not believing in it. That is so weird. Why can't we just not believe in it? Damn. Just not believe in it, man. See if we can get the way out of this. Notice how sextortion hurts minors the most. Like that 17-year-old who committed suicide. But it's not because they're minors that they get hurt. It's because minor sexuality is so criminalized and feared that we think is incredibly dangerous. And even the minors themselves can get imprisoned for taking pictures of themselves. So they get the message that this is incredibly dangerous. So maybe it's worth committing suicide over. That's the message society is sending. That we are doubling down on with this solution that is the official solution of making it an even bigger crime when it gets sextorted. Instead of just blowing the whole thing off. That would be a lot more preventative if everyone could just relax and be sure that there are no consequences to spreading news. If it weren't criminalized so heavily, there would be less objective consequences. And also, there would be less psychological consequences. If we had this idea getting promoted, that is not a big deal. I mean, just like if these Nigerian sextortion scammers try to extort an adult man for sending nudes of himself, and then saying they're gonna share it, that's just gonna be blown off right away by almost everybody. I mean, it wouldn't work because we have nothing to fear, and we know we have nothing to fear because it's just nonsense that there's any damage associated, any danger associated with these pictures, right? But we don't want to go there with minors. We want to instill and preserve and perpetuate and double down on this idea that it's super dangerous. These images are so dangerous. You can't even suggest that that's a possible solution to just not go along with that idea anymore.